Okay, so let's look at in class 15. So here's the question we would like to answer. Does a person's smoking level have an effect on how much they exercise? If the answer to this question is yes, then we would say that smoking level and exercise are not independent variables. If the answer to the question is no, then we say that smoking level and exercise are independent variables. So to answer this question, we will use the chi-square test. So let's look at our example here. So we have to answer some questions. So here's our data. So we have smoking level and exercise level. So we have heavy smoking, occasional smoker, never smoker, and then we have exercise levels, frequent, none, some. So we have to decide whether exercise level and smoking level are independent. So let's first figure out our part A, state the null hypothesis. Okay, so let's do that. So our null is going to be that the two variables are independent. So our null would be smoking levels and exercise are independent variables. Okay, so part B, find degrees of freedom. Let's do that next. So degrees of freedom is rows -1, columns -1. So if we look down here, we have 1, oops, we undo that. We have 1, 2, 3 rows, and columns we have 1, 2, 3 columns. So it'd be 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1, so it'd be 2 times 2, so 4. Okay, so we started part B. Let's keep going. Now it says compute the chi-squared value by hand. Let's do that next. So let's go through the steps to find the chi-squared value. So step 1, I need a new page here. So step 1 here would be add up all rows and columns in table. So let's take our table above and paste it down below. Here's my table. Paste it below. I'm going to write column sums here. And over here, you're going to write row sums. Down here, write total. So the first column sum, you'd add these. That would be the column sum you'll put here. So adding those, we get 106. Moving on to next one. So these two. Adding those, we get 22. Adding these ones, we get 91. Okay, now let's go on to row sums next. So row sums, adding this way, so it'd be 10, 11 there. Then next row sum, adding that way, so we have 19. Then adding these ones, we get 189. And then the total would be, you could add this way, and get a total, put it there, or you could add this way, they'll be the same number, you can check. So adding them, 219. Okay, so we're done with step 1. Let's go on to step 2 now. Okay, so step 2, find proportion of heavy smokers, occasional smokers, and non-smokers in a sample. So P1 would be portion of heavy smokers in sample. So heavy smokers, we'll look up here. We have, looks like, be this guy here, 11. That's adding up all the heavy smokers, so you get 11 out of 219. And working in that, put out in your calculator. So putting this in your calculator and rounding to the 2 decimal places, 0.05. Okay, next we'll do portion of occasional smokers in sample. So occasional is 19 out of 219. So you can check it's 0.087. And lastly, let's do proportion of non-smokers. So proportion of non-smokers, let me put it here. So non-smokers, we have 189 out of 219, so it's 0.863 roughly. Okay, so we've done with step 2. Let's go on to step 3. Okay, so step 3, let me paste it here. Define expected values of smoking levels and exercise levels are independent if they're independent variables. Multiply proportion of heavy smokers and sample times each column sum the same for occasional and for non-smokers. So let's do that now. Let's go down here, let's paste my table again. So here's my table. So looking at the first column sum, it was 106 right here. So we're going to put that in the first column. So the 106 here, and repeat it. Actually, let's put a multiplication sign after it. I'll explain that why in a second. Let's repeat this 3 times. Okay, now we're going to multiply it in the this position by the proportion of heavy smokers. So the proportion of heavy smokers is 0.05. So that's going to go here. And the next one's proportion of occasional smokers. That's the 0.087. That goes here. Then times proportion of never smokers, 0.863. So working these out then, you get, for the first one we're going to get 5.3. For the second one we'll get 9.22. And for the third one we'll get 91.4. Okay, so we're going to just repeat this for the other 2 columns here. So the next one would be, the column sum was 22, so you'd have a 22 here, 22 here, 22 here, multiplied by the proportions. And the next one would be 91, so you put 91 here, 91 here, 91 here. So let's do that. So doing that, let's give you the answers here. You get that. Okay, just repeating the process for each of the columns. So we're done now with step 3. Let's move on to step 4. Okay, so here is step 4. It says now subtract the actual value from expected value, then square the result and divide by expected value. Add up all answers. This is your chi-squared value. Okay, so let's do that. Let's write another table down here. We'll start doing that. Okay, let's copy my table here. Okay, let's put this in a new page. Step 4 directions. Okay. Okay, so it says subtract actual. So let's look at the first one. So the actual for heavy, in the first position there, going up to the top, it's 7. So it'll be 7. So 7. Now look at our expected value that we just found is 5.3. So 5.3. Then we're going to square that result and then divide by expected value. Oops. Squared. Okay, squared. Squared divided by 5.3. Oh, it's being weird right now. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's compute this. Okay, so let's go to our calculator. It would be 7 So here, clear. So it's going to be 7 minus 7.7 minus 5.3, then squared, then it's divided by 5.3. See what we get here. So let's round it to two places. It'll be 0.55. Go back over here. So it'll be 0.55. Okay, so maybe doing one more here. Well, they're done in a similar way than all the rest of them. So occasional, I go up to the 9.22 would be the expected value, and 12 would be the actual value. So it'd be 12 minus 9.2 squared divided by 9.2. So let me just work that out here. So working it out here, you can check it'll be 0.84 for the occasional guy, and for non-smoker, check this one out to be so 8.7 was the actual one from up here, the 8.7. Subtract the expected. Expected was 91.4. Square the result, and then divide by 91.48. So doing the same for the other guys, I'll just write the answers here. So here's the answers you get from these guys. Let you verify that. Okay, so we're done now with, what step was that? Step 4. So we're done with step 4. Now let's go on to step 5. So step 5, then we paste it here. Let's add up all answers from step 4. This is your chi-squared value. So add up the 0.55, 0.84, 0.22, 0.01, 0.62, 0.05, 0.53, 194, 0.38. So I'll add all those guys up. Let you check, it's 5.14. So that's our chi-squared value. Okay, so we're done with so part B. So part C now says write the R code. So to do that, we're going to take our template up here. Let's paste it at the bottom and make some changes to it. Paste it. So scroll down. So let's paste it right here. Okay, so we're going to make some changes to that. But I'm going to leave it there for this video, so I'm going to do a part 2 to this. So let's leave it there for now.